Welcome to Write with Love. I'm your host, Sarah Williams, best-selling author, speaker, and creative entrepreneur. Each week, I chat to passionate and inspiring authors about their journey in creative writing. Some are traditionally published, some do it themselves. Everyone's journey is different, and everyone has something interesting to say. We all love love and love what we do. Today's show is brought to you by our amazing fans and supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support the show and get some awesome bonus episodes, go to patreon.com/Sarah Williams Author to learn more. Now here's today's show. G'day, I'm Sarah Williams. Thanks for joining me for episode 50 of Write with Love. I'm recording this on Friday the 30th of November 2018. This week, The Dairy Farmer's Daughter was released. Thank you to everyone who has bought it and left a review. Thank you for your support, and I hope you enjoy reading it as much as I enjoyed writing it. My library workshops are going really well. Hi to anyone who attended and is now listening to the show. And if you're in the Sunshine Coast and would like to come to my workshop, it's called Marketing Your Manuscript. They're free and all the details are on the library's website. You still have a few days to enter the competition on the Write with Love Facebook page, where you can win one of 3 paperback novels: a signed copy of The Pearl Thief by Fiona McIntosh, The Currency Lass by Tia Cooper, or my latest novel, The Dairy Farmer's Daughter. Go to facebook.com/Write with Love podcast to enter. Competition is drawn December 5, so you'll be able to gift them for Christmas if you want to. The Australian Romance Readers Association will be hosting a romantic rendezvous next March, where readers can meet their favourite romance authors and get books signed. Locations and dates are Brisbane, 23rd of March, Sydney, 24th of March, Melbourne, 30th of March, and Perth, the 31st of March. I will be at the Brisbane signing and would love to see you there. I will have all my books as well as lots of free stuff for you, and if you're a patron, you can claim your hug. The ERA website is australianromancereaders.wordpress.com. If you love Australian rural romance, then for only 99 cents, you can read 6 of Australia's favourite best-selling full-length novels and 1 brand new short story. Annie Seaton, Suzanne Bellamy, S.E. Gilchrist, Anne B. Harrison, S.M. Spencer, Philippa Neffrey Clark and myself have joined forces for a combined Kindle-only box set called Outback Hearts. It's available now on Amazon, and we've already hit the #1 spot in several big categories, which is great. If you would like to join me here in the beautiful Maleny hinterland, I am down to my last spot for the Writers' Retreat I'm hosting from May 31st till June 3rd, 2019. All the details are on my page, which is www.sarahwilliamsauthor.com/Maleny-writers-retreat. We will be writing, talking craft and having fun. I will also show you all the steps involved in uploading a manuscript to distributors and how to professionally self-publish. If you miss out on that one, you can book into my Noosa Writers Retreat. It's running on October 18th till the 21st, 2019. Come and join me at the trendy beachside town for a weekend of writing and marketing tips. Both retreats are limited strictly to 6 people, so get in quick. If you're an author who would like a shout out on the show for as little as $25, send an email to sarah@serenadepublishing.com or become a patron at patreon.com/Sarah Williams Author for more information. Today is the first of my chats with fellow Outback Hearts authors. In earlier episodes, I've already talked to Annie Seaton and S.M. Spencer and learnt lots from both those lovely ladies. So today we are discovering a lady who may be new to you. Her name is Philippa Neffrey Clark, and she's the best-selling author of The Station Master's Cottage. So enjoy the show, and I'll see you next week. G'day, and welcome to Write with Love. Today on the show, I'm chatting to Philippa Neffrey-Clark. Thanks for joining me today.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So, Philippa is one of the 7 authors who I am collaborating with to produce the Kindle-only box set called Outback Hearts, which you can buy for only 99 cents. But before we promote the box set too much, Philippa, tell us about yourself and your writing career so far.
Oh, thank you for that. Thanks, Sarah. I've been writing since I was quite small. Before I went to school, I was able to read and write quite fluently, and that kind of went against me a bit at school because I already knew everything, so I got bored and, But I was writing stories and drawing little pictures to go with them, but I've never followed the illustration side, just the writing. As a teenager, it was a comfort to me during difficult times, and I sort of always followed the same sort of themes. Always has the ocean, always has beautiful wild beaches, and it's always about good things. That's how I write. So a number of years ago when I had young children, I started writing screenplays, and I wrote 5 full-length screenplays. Tried very hard to get them made in Australia, which is not the easiest. There's not a lot of money to be had. One of them was The Station Master's Cottage, which a number of years later I said, well, I think it's time I turned it into a novel and see if I can give it wings with a novel in the novel format instead. So I basically had a big break from writing. I've always written something. I've always worked with words. I've done a lot of non-fiction stuff. I've had non-fiction works published. We used to have St Bernard dogs for a long time, and I judged them, and I've got a bit of a name in the breed, so I've been asked to write parts on them around the world. So that was something that just kept me writing a little bit. But fiction is absolutely my big love. So about 4 years ago, when the children were older and I had a little bit more time, not much because we have a business, but a little bit more time, I finally committed to writing. And once I actually got started, it just snowballed, and now no one's stopping me.
Yeah, awesome. So did you try and do the traditional route and do some submissions and those sorts of things, or did you go straight to being an indie?
Yeah, I definitely tried the traditional path many years ago, actually, when I was a teenager, or maybe when I was about 19 or 20. I wrote a very, for want of a better word, I was pitching it as a Mills and Boons book, but I don't think I'd read many of them. It was just a really cute love story set in Far North Queensland, and it was called, what was it called? Appointment with Paradise. Oh. And I still have a copy of it, and I did all typed out. I did send it off to Mills and Boon, and they sent me a beautiful letter back rejecting me, but encouraging me at the same time. The next time I tried to get a trad deal was with the Station Master's Cottage. My way of doing that was to look for an agent. I was referred to an agent, and she was open to people phoning her direct as long as they had a referral, which I did. And the first words out of her mouth was, "What's your education? What makes you think you're qualified to be an author?" And that really threw me. I actually didn't finish high school. There were family circumstances. I left school at 14, so it's a bit of an Achilles heel for me, education. Okay. And I kind of just whimpered quietly and went away, and my oldest son, who is now 23, said, "Mum, you're going to get it up on Amazon and Kobo. You're going to sell it yourself." Yeah. And I just went, okay, let's give it a whirl, and we did. But I have been offered a traditional deal for it since, which I've turned down.
Oh, wow. Oh, good job. Not through the same agent, I'm guessing.
No. I did this one all by myself.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Gosh. Well, so let's talk about your books. So you have spectacular covers, and you've got the 3 books, which we'll get into in more detail in a minute. But tell us about these covers. Like, they are spectacular.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited and just so lucky to have found someone who gets me and gets what I'm driving at when I write. And I use a company in Victoria, which is where I live as well, in Australia. Her name's Jade. Her husband's name is Vlad. Both of them are illustrators, and he's also a musician. So he does things for movie trailers and so forth. But she's the most talented person. She's amazing. And I found her through a Facebook page where I was trying to create something myself, and she just very kindly said, no, don't. And we just got talking, and she immediately said to me, you've got to do something that really talks about the book. And I've been criticised by some people for not having people on the covers until the most recent one, but I'm very lucky. I work with Jade on an ongoing basis now.
Yeah, awesome. So let's, if you're lucky enough to be watching on YouTube, let's have a look at these covers as we go through these books. So Station Master's Cottage, if you've got that one. Awesome. So for anyone who can't see it, it has a little picture, like a postcard picture almost, of a house, and then it's got a key and it's some rings and ribbons, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. So I'll
thank you.
Pop them up as well so people can see them on my Facebook page. But yeah, so tell us about Station Master's Cottage, which I will just sneak in here, is the book that you can get in our box set for 99 cents on Kindle.
That's it. You certainly can do, and it's the one that started the whole series.
Yeah.
I live next door to a Station Master's Cottage, a real one, which is well over 100 years old, and it's sort of always made me wonder what it would be like to be able to look into its past, what secrets there might be from families, the comings and goings of people around a railway line. That got me going, and then my ongoing need to be near the sea found me a location near the ocean, along the Great Ocean Road, which is a beautiful part of Victoria. It's very wild. It's completely fictional, my town of Riversend, but many people who either know the region or live in the region, they all think it belongs to them. They know where it is, which is great. So the story just came very quickly. I'm a huge fan of very happy resolutions to sad situations. I love a real love story where it's about a long-term connection that it just fills you so much that you've met that person and that's the person for you. And this is what this story is about. There were 2 young people who were planning to marry, and something happened just after their engagement party, and they actually are separated for a very long time, and go into the future to now, and a young woman inherits a cottage, and upstairs in the cottage there's an old attic, and all that's in there is a trunk, an old timber trunk, and inside of that there's a shoebox full of old letters, and it's through reading the love letters that she learns the story of this young couple, and her own relationship is not working the way she thinks it should, and seeing how in her mind how other people were that were truly in love makes her want more as well. But there's a big mystery in there, and she follows that mystery at the cost of, well, what could be the cost of her own happiness.
So, wow.
Yeah.
I've got tingles. That sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, so, and you followed that up with Jasmine C. So is that a sequel in terms of the same people, or how have you sequenced to that?
Yep, it's using the same town. I've expanded it to have not only the same main characters, but to slowly introduce some other characters and develop some of my minor characters a bit more, so that the story is not only about Christy, who's the young woman who inherited the cottage, though she is my main character through all of my books, but it's about the other people that we come into contact, and some of them have been described as quirky and, interesting, like small town people always are.
Yep.
So Jasmine C follows on a few months later, and I won't give any spoilers away, but it does bring in someone from Christie's past who's not the nicest of people, who does want to cause some harm in the town of Riversend, and she's put in a position where she is risking her own life in a very dangerous situation. And it's all about the town and how it comes together, and also the strength of love and being able to hold on to what you believe in.
Oh, fantastic. Excellent. And show us the cover as well.
I will. This is a lovely cover, this one.
I'm just waiting for the screen to catch up. There we go. Oh, wonderful. So it's a little, is that a paper boat?
It is, origami boat.
Origami boat, yes, that's lovely. And little paper clouds and a sun too. And it's so cute. Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so these stories, they're sweet stories, so definitely not hot, you can read them. Wonderful present for your mum or grandmother or anything like that coming into Christmas.
Oh, absolutely. Look, they are, they're sweet stories, and not for any reason. I read all sorts of heat levels, but these just didn't lend themselves to anything other than being a sweet love story.
Yeah.
With mystery.
yeah, no, that's brilliant. And so I've been following you for a while, and I know you've got this new one coming out called The Secrets of Palmerston House, and so I'd love for you to tell us about that one.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty excited. This is a follow-on to Jasmine C. So again, same people, but we're now seeing more development from some of the ones from Jasmine C. And it's around a very exciting time in the town, around a wedding. But the Palmerston House is from the station master's cottage. It was the original family home, and it's a beautiful big mansion style house that's now a bed and breakfast. So people come there for weddings, they'll come to stay and so forth. But it's a very old house, and in the cottage book there's the mention that it was won in a game of poker in 1853. So there's now a new person that comes to town who believes that, well, maybe that game of poker was an illegal one, and perhaps the ownership can be challenged. So it's quite suspenseful, but so it goes back to 1853 in part. So that took a lot of research.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I haven't done historical yet.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Do you have a cover for that one up yet, or
I've got one on my iPad. I can show you.
That'd be awesome.
See how this. We'll see. See if it works.
That works. Yeah.
So not too glary there.
It's a little bit glary. But okay, they're perfect. So, house in the background, a girl in the foreground reading a book, and some cards falling. Oh, okay, and now I can see myself, so you can move it. Fantastic. Yep, that looks just gorgeous. Oh wow, and that one's out now. Or
that's being released on the 30th of November. So just a day before Outback Hearts comes out.
And I'll just throw in 2 days after the Dairy Farmer's Daughter's out. Busy month. Oh, gosh. We all try and do this big rush just before Christmas. Can you tell? Oh, fantastic. So I think we've just told people everything they need to buy.
That's right. That's all you need. All of these books, all of Sarah's books.
Yep. So we'll talk about now that we know all your books. Let's talk about our Outback Hearts is what it's called. Yes. And if people have been listening to the show for the last 3 months, I guess I've been talking about this. So Outback Hearts is a box set that myself as the creator of Serenade Publishing, put together. And I invited authors to join me and do a box set together. So I was thrilled. We've got Annie Seaton, who has edited my novels for me in the past, and I'm a big fan of. Full of her, obviously.
Yeah.
Then we've got Essie Gilchrist, and we've got Anne B. Harrison. Help me out here. S.M. Spencer.
Suzanne Bellamy.
Oh, there's too many of us.
Did we say Anne B. Harrison?
Anne
I think
B. Harrison.
we did.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
You.
Me. You.
Me.
So there's 7 of us. I think we've covered it. Yeah,
I think so.
So it's 6 full-length novels, and then S.M. Spencer has created a very new short story for us. So that one, this will be the first time it's in it, and all the others. So my books, The Brothers of Brigadier Station, back there.
Ta-da! I can see it.
And yeah, everyone else's has already been published and will still be available at the same time. But 7 stories for 99 cents is pretty good value, I think.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole lot of reading. I can't wait. I mean, I've already pre-ordered it because I haven't read the other stories, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are first in season or first in series. So, like Brothers Brigadier, Station Master's Cottage. I know, Annie Seaton, I can't remember what it's called. But hers is definitely a first in series as well. So, and even though it's called Outback Hearts, obviously yours isn't outback per se, but it is small town rural, and they are all based in Australia. So, it's very exciting, and we're all doing a lot of promotion, and it's doing so well. We're recording this, and we're halfway through November. It doesn't come out for a couple more weeks, and we've already got heaps of pre-orders. So yay!
I know it's been really exciting following it. Like, I'll check it a few times a week, and number one in Westerns. At one point, it was in the top 100 in the Australian store.
Yeah.
That's so exciting, and it just shows how people love to read about Australian remote stories, rural towns. And, to understand what it's like living here, because, a lot of our country is remote, and there's some fabulous people out there to write about.
There is, yeah. And I'm just, watching where people are buying them from, and we got an order from Sweden or something. I was like, that's so cool. So, it's very exciting. And these box sets are going to become regular for Serenade Publishing to be putting out. So we've got this one obviously coming out in December. And then we've got another one planned for, I think it's February, which Jasmine C will be in.
Yay!
So that'll be very cool.
Yeah.
So, and they are on 99 cents on Kindle only, and only running for 3 months after it's been released. So you only have from now until the end of February to buy.
Hurry!
And then it's gone and you can't get it again.
Buy now.
All right, promoted that enough, I think. All right, so Philippa, what are you working on now, and what's going to be out next?
Okay, so now I'm working on the 4th and probably the final in the River's End series, but this one is actually a Christmas story, and it's only going to be about 30,000 words, so it's not full length.
Yeah.
And to me, it was just something to put in that was just a bit special and just a bit of fun to write. And I don't know if I've actually got a picture of it. I may not have a picture of it. I'm sorry. So,
okay.
I didn't plan ahead.
A Christmas novella, though. So, yeah. When are you going to have that one up for release?
That one will be on the 7th of December. It's called The Christmas Key, and you'll be able to pick it. It's got a beautiful golden retriever on the front of it and a red background. And anyone who, when you read Station Master's Cottage, which you will when you've purchased Outback Hearts, you'll know that there's a golden retriever called Randall, and he's in all the stories, so he's very important as well.
Oh, gorgeous. So that's so exciting. Well, that is fantastic. So where can we find you online? How can we follow you?
Yeah, I have a website, which I'm still working on, but it doesn't look too bad, but it needs my bio on it and a few other things. So bear with me, but you can normally go on there to read all about me. That's www.philippaclark.com. And I'm on Facebook. I've got an Instagram account, which I'm woefully slack about, so I've got to get onto that a bit more. I have a Twitter account, which is Cottage Love Books, and I'm on BookBub as well. I love BookBub followers. If anyone would like to follow me, always.
Yes, I'll definitely second that one. BookBub's all the rage at the moment, and especially for indies, we need our followers on BookBub.
We do.
So, yep, go on to BookBub and type in our names and follow us on BookBub. And of course, we're always trying to get BookBub promotions and those sorts of things. So it really does help an author.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, then we recommend books to you as well.
Yeah, absolutely, we will. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Philippa. I really enjoyed our chat.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for having me. It's been fantastic. And thank you for letting me have a chance to talk about me and my books. It's been good.
No worry at all. My pleasure. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Jump onto my website, sarahwilliamsauthor.com, and join my mailing list to receive a free preview of my books and lots of other inspiration. If you like the show and want it to continue, you can become a sponsor for just a couple of dollars a month. Go to patreon.com/Sarah Williams Author. And remember to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave a review of the podcast. I'll be back next week with another loved up episode. Bye!